Hey, what's up? Lightboltjoe here. Today we are going to discuss the 1998 cult classic musical film, The Wedding Singer. This stars Adam Sandler as Robbie Hart, Drew Barrymore as Julia Gulia, Christine Taylor as Holly, Alan Covert as Sammy, Matthew Gleave as Glenn, Ellen Albertini Dow as Rosie, Angela Featherstone as Linda, Alexis Arquette as George, Christina Pickles as Angie. Alexis Arquette, may she rest in peace, a true trailblazer for the trans rights, for the trans community. I was so upset when she passed away. I still don't know how she passed away, but I'm still upset that she passed away. But her iconic performance as George is just so transcendent. I'm obsessed with the musical The Wedding Singer. I have an original t-shirt from the original Broadway show. It lasted very briefly on Broadway. Very briefly on Broadway. We'll talk about it when we talk about the Broadway musical. But this is the Wedding Singer shirt that I own. So I figured I'd bring out my Lucas hat from Stranger Things. It's all 1980s, tilted on the side, obviously. So let's talk about The Wedding Singer. This came out in 1998, takes place in 1985. That means that there's 13-year difference between the two. So it's really weird thinking that it came out in 98, but it took place in 85, because, like, 13 years ago from 2020 is 2007. I was a senior in high school. It's just mind-boggling to me that someone would be doing a film right now based in 2007. Like, I don't know, how would that look? It's like weird. Like, do you still have like your flip phones to like use as props? And like, you're gonna rock out a Panic at the Disco or Fall Out Boy shirt? You're gonna rock some Mike Kemmer or Olmecker and Rejects, merch. What would that look like in 07? So this film takes place in 85. Robbie Hart is a wedding singer. He performs at venue. He performs at one basic venue where Julia works, where her cousin Holly works. Sammy is Robbie's best friend. He drives a limo. So it's all interrelated of, everybody works at this place, everybody can, get parties to and from, etc. So Julia is a new waitress at the place. Sammy has a crush on her, but then eventually Sammy has a crush on Holly, and then Robbie has a crush on Julia, but Julia is getting married to Glenn, and Glenn's a douche who works in the city. This takes place in Jersey. It's chaos, absolute chaos, because then Linda, Robbie's fiance, stands him up, and then he goes into a depression, and then he's still trying to, be a wedding singer, and he's still trying to, do his vocal lessons with one of his, customer clients, Rosie, who's prepping to sing to her husband for their 50th wedding anniversary coming up. Robbie lives in his sister and brother-in-law's basement. He takes care of his nephews, but he's still trying to get out of this funk. And in the process, Glenn is being a douchebag. So Julia asks Robbie for help, picking out floral arrangements and cakes and things like that, and Robbie agrees because Robbie has a crush on her. And then every time they go, look for flower arrangements or something, it's assumed that they're getting married, but then they play that they're brother and sister, and it's this fun back and forth banter. In the process, Holly still really wants to go out with Robbie, because Robbie and Julia practiced a wedding kiss just as practice. It didn't mean anything, otherwise Glenn would kick his ass. So the four of them go to a club. And of course, Glenn drives a DeLorean. Why wouldn't he? And Glenn admits that he cheats on, Julia, but he works late hours in the city, so it doesn't matter. And then Robbie's mad because he got his heart broken, that he was left at the altar. So how dare Glenn, play with Julia's emotions, and she doesn't even know that he's a cheating bastard. So Robbie just still, goes into a depression. He tries to get a job at a bank, thinking that the only reason, Julia is dating Glenn is because of his money, which is what Holly tells him. And so eventually he comes out of it. Eventually, he, after he threatens to kill another wedding party, he goes into doing bar mitzvahs or bat mitzvahs, which is wonderful. George is a keyboardist who does his own solo performances. Alexis plays the character of George. Okay. So, yeah, it's a great film. And then the last, 10 minutes is cumulative of Julia and Glenn getting on an airplane to get to Vegas to get married quick. and Robbie jumps on the airplane to try to stop the wedding, but it turns out they're on the same airplane, and Robbie befriends Billy Idol, who plays himself, and then Billy gets on the loudspeaker telling all the coach passengers that, you know, the first class passengers can do anything they want, and one of the first class passengers has a song they'd like to sing for one of the coach passengers. So Robbie starts singing, I want to make you smile whenever you're sad, carry you around when your arthritis is bad. Oh, all I want to do is grow old with you. Right? So the song keeps going on, but that is a theme song throughout the entire movie. It's like played piano interlude, like score-wise. Beautiful. So Robbie's singing to Julia. The whole airplane is, you know, applauding. Billy Idol's fans wind up taking out Glenn, throwing him in a bathroom, trapping him in there. Perfect. And then Robbie and Julia get married back at home in Jersey. And then it's a 90s film, so it does that. They're walking down the aisle, and then all of a sudden it stops, like it freeze frames, and then the trailer, the credits start to scroll as the picture then fades away. Good old 80s film. Good old 90s film that takes place in 85. So, again, this is incredible. The musical itself, but that's the thing. This had so much music in it. You know, Robbie sings a song that he writes himself, that Adam Sandler wrote himself. Robbie is singing all of these different covers. John Levowitz is in this, playing another, you know, wedding singer, hysterical. So it's pretty musical. And so it made sense in 2005 when this musical, Wedding Singer, new musical, came to Broadway. Why it only lasted 8 or 9 months, I have no idea, but I saw it, and it was the best performance I've ever seen. I've been to a lot of Broadway shows. It was the most fun I've ever had. Correction. There's 3 shows where I could say it was the most fun I ever had. One of the most funs I've ever had while watching a show. Wedding Singer, Legally Blonde, SpongeBob. We did talk about SpongeBob. We haven't talked about Legally Blonde, and we haven't talked about Wedding Singer. So we'll talk about Legally Blonde at some other point. I want to watch those movies, review those movies. We'll talk about the musical. But it's so hard to find a copy of the Broadway musical, like, recorded. Nowadays, you know, every show gets a recording, and then eventually it's released as like a special edition something. But man, in 2005 you couldn't. It was rare. Like, it's very rare if you can find a grainy video on YouTube of like something. Like, you got to find a lot of like high school productions. So I was actually in a production of Wedding Singer, one of the first couple shows I did that I got paid to do. And I have a copy of it somewhere. I got to find it because I got to watch it and relive the good old, how much fun we had on that stage. Yeah. So 1998's The Wedding Singer, classic Adam Sandler, Drew Barrymore film. This is the first film that they actually worked together with, followed by 2004's 50 First Dates, and then 2014's Blended. Now, in Wedding Singer and 50 First Dates, Drew Barrymore drives a yellow car in both films. I don't remember if she drives a yellow car in Blended. I hope that she does, just to keep up with the theme of Drew Barrymore plays a character in an Adam Sandler film, and she drives a yellow car. I thought that'd be a nice little fun trivia fact. But she does drive a yellow car in both Wedding Singer, 98's Wedding Singer, and 2004's 50 First Dates. So, we're going to watch the musical. The Wedding Singer musical. We're going to talk about it, my absolute love for it. I'm going to wear this shirt again. I'm going to break out the soundtrack. I'm going to break out the magnet I have. Like, I can't find the playbill, and I can't find the ticket stub. I don't know where the hell they are. They're somewhere in my room. But the things that I know where they are, we're gonna hold them up and display them with pride and talk about that gorgeous, gigantic pink mirror ball hanging from the balcony, hanging from the roof over the balcony, over the orchestra. Oh, beautiful. Neon everywhere. Okay, we're good. Mucho mahalo.